Actually, I am super excited. One of the main reasons how supportive Trey and Mr. Randy have been for us, probably not realizing it, but the avenues and the things that they've been able to, line up for my son and us. It's truly been an honor just to know them. The support that they give and the attitude that they have for all avenues and all things is fantastic. And then of course, his wife, we've known his wife for super long too. So they're family, in all honesty. It's something that we are just honored to know and to be even more part of it. The whole organization and providing for others is actually, it shows me a lot of interest. Retirement's coming up here for me before too long. It'll be more towards the hunting part, probably potentially even playing on the farm, to go that route. But to see what they are providing, to see what they are doing, their goal is to provide, not take. And it's so admirable. It truly, truly is. And I love to see it. It's such an honor to be a participant on any of the things. I'm more interested, in all honesty, watching them get something. I took a guy last year who got an amazing buck, and his goal is it's going on the wall. And he was trying to get me to get it, and I was like, hey man, it's yours. I was the first one that spotted it, but handed it over. And it turned out fantastic. It's definitely a wall hanger. So
what's your favorite part about being involved in SPEARiT?
I guess honestly, when we get back and seeing the involvement that Trey and Mr. Randy have, and the people that come in and being part of it and seeing how people are taking it. You're not guaranteed to catch fish every time. But for me, it's just being a participant. Being included in such a thing is great. It's an honor. It's more of an honor being included in that. But it's amazing to see, no bus on him, but Mr. Randy's got a few years on him, even though he's fantastic shape for his age. But seeing his involvement too is actually super great. And they are super mentors to Eden. Mr. Randy's a big mentor for my son, honestly. So he takes him underneath his wing quite a bit. Man, it's always like a big pump feeling. I would say that getting to be a part of it, right, is such an honor. And looking what they are providing and the efforts that they are doing is what makes it such a great honor. And as we were just describing a little bit earlier, there's no guarantee that you're gonna go out there and catch fish. But you see what they're providing and what they're doing in order to just give you something where you get to go out on the water, and not just even for fish, you have good days and bad days as far as in the choppiness of the water, but being there. And then the guys that they line us up with, just honestly trying to make you happy. The expression, well, hey, we caught a fish. And then what the guides are providing, the experience of being able to be out there with those guys. Honestly, that's more of a thing that I enjoy, so. How did I get involved? Trey and I, we were in the same organization together, but unfortunately we never got to work together. I would have loved to work with him. You don't necessarily get to know one another because we're so, this is what I got going, this is what I got going on. But we vaguely knew one another. And then we got to meet him through his wife, Lauren, and got to know him, and then just having the conversations that we did. His attitude, his ingenuity, just a really upbeat guy. It's honestly hard to hear bad things that he's gonna say. And then I reached out and, he said, hey, when you want to do it, let me know. And he had taken Eden. Eden got to go a couple of times, and with our work schedule, it's kind of hard. Honestly, back then, it was kind of hard to be able to get into something like that. Come home, you get about maybe 2 months to do something, and then you're off doing something else. But he said, yeah, I got you. And it was an opportunity for myself and my wife. And he sent us up north, and we had a blast. I loved it. Had a really, really great time. And then there's been some tournaments and stuff that have come up. And I've got to go with a man cub a few times, and it's been fantastic, honestly, I was curious, and Trey could probably testify to this, being where we're at, your focus gets so heavily on work, and you don't necessarily pick up on additional hobbies very well because of your schedule. And you're busy. And so it was, all right, I got to do it. I think he's going to really dig it. And started getting into it. And the talk is for maybe future is maybe for us to honestly kind of get over our own boat, and then being able to spend time like that. That's Eden's goal to potentially be, I'm trying to convince him. I was like, oh, that's great. Maybe you should, do something like a firefighter so you can have a real job that has all this stuff, and then you can do this or something like that. It appears to be his passion. You know, he's 14, so ideas and mindsets are going to change. But it's really pretty common. He's going, hey, I'm going to go out on the water if it's whatever small little boat. So I'm trying to encourage it as much as I can, and he can talk fish. But what Mr. Andy and Trey have been providing for him is even more growth into it and showing him other things so he can even continue to grow and have a better understanding. But it's honestly, it's a pretty big passion. You know, they'll go out and they'll do an overnighter. He'll come back and he'll be a little smoked, but then he starts telling us about the good stories and the experiences that he got. And it's honestly, to a small degree, I'm a little jealous. I don't know how much I want to be a diver anymore. You know, if it was about 10 years ago, I'd probably be pushing for it, but I ain't got the legs like I used to. The first trip, it was great. We went up over by New Bern and we started heading out, and I thought we were going to go a little bit deeper. The goal was, I think, for reds, and we ended up that you could see them snapping up on top in the birds. He says, hey, we're just going to throw some blues. And I think we were there for a few hours, and I couldn't tell you how many we caught, honestly. It was super, super great. The wife came along and she enjoyed herself for a few casts, and then after that she's like, yeah, I'm done. But still, it was a great experience to get to be with her. And since then, the experiences have been mainly with Eden, but the futures with the other man cub over there. Just kind of helped me open up and relax and have focus on something else. I've got to do some offshore. I kind of like the more scenic on the inshore a little bit, I will say that. But being even offshore, the experience and being part of it is super fantastic as well. The effort that those guys are going through. And I try to reflect and look back on stuff that I grew up doing or being part of. And, you know, managing the boat, driving the boat, managing casts and everything like that, it's fantastic. Their passion. That's what's been, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, their passion in order to provide and give. It is super fantastic. You know, it's like anybody, everybody wants to catch a big fish, but at the end of the day, you can see with Trey and Mr. Andy, they seem more rewarded with providing that for somebody to experience and do. You know, in a big degree, it's their life. So it's a little bit more common, you know, and we see pictures of Trey all the time and the stuff that he catches, and he's super, super great, energetic dude. On the stuff that he's showing, he's always just like, yeah. He provides that for other people. You can see it. Mr. Randy too, you know, he's a pretty stoic guy, but you can see he's so pleased, and it's rewarding. We were talking about a little bit earlier where it honestly kind of influences me to be able to do that for somebody. But they provide that for numerous people, and it's awesome. It is. Seeing what they provide is so rewarding. How it's made a difference for me. Probably honestly working on opening up. It's always been a little difficult for me, you know, typically not a really big share. I've helped people with stuff, and I usually immediately get to the task that needs to be knocked out instead of sometimes letting them enjoy the moment and taking those photographs or something like that. You get so used to, all right, man, it's work, let's go, and getting into that. Learning to open up to let others know how the feeling is. Also working on just being open. And I'm so thankful, beyond belief. So for us, it's what it's provided, honestly, for our family. The experience is being able to participate in something that brings so much to the table. And for people to realize that it's an opportunity. And you don't have to be a big fisherman. You don't have to go out there and catch the big fish. It's just the experience. And being able to just do something with friends, with family members, with loved ones, in order to have an experience and be there next to their side so you can let go of things that usually keep you constrained unknowingly. And then, you know, passing that on to them. I'd probably ask questions as far as in, well, what are you looking to experience? What are you looking to be part of? Because they're going to potentially push for you to fish, but if you feel like you're somebody that wants to be part in setting up the program, setting up the organization, as far as in if they have a fishing tournament or something like that, the door's open. But for somebody, right, if you're one of those people that think that way, you're always going to say, well, there's always a reason. And I was kind of one of those people There was always something that I felt like I needed to get done in order to go give myself a treat, go and experience that. So until you actually experience it and go and be part of it, it's hard. You won't realize it until you actually put your foot on the boat and go out there and do something. Yep. So being able to provide beyond the fishing, right? I get it that it's, spirit veteran fishing, but the door is so open in order to provide two guys with people that have had maybe not identical, but similar situations and understand. We've all been down those bumpy roads in order to sit back, figure out the best way to step forward and provide, either for the family or us providing for teammates. Where Trey and I basically, we might as well say, grew up. The experiences that we got to have, there's those giant love-hate relationships that you have when you're working with guys, but you also learn to figure out other ways to make everybody happy across the board to a certain degree, regardless of how that is, but stepping forward and say, hey man, we're here for you. And Trey is taking it to another level where he's doing it on his own program, where I'm doing it with the military, they're doing it on their own program in order to provide for people across the board. It's not just veterans, it's not just active duty, they're family members in order to give. And it's a beautiful thing. And the resources that they have, and understanding of that, saying, hey man, we're here. And do you think this is something that you like? What are you looking for? And it's not just a focus, it's just a big picture.